Welcome back. Sometimes it's easy to think small and underestimate what we're truly capable of. But business builder Dwight Scott is here to help us think big. Good morning and welcome to Weekend Smile.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm amazing, thanks.
See, he started, I'm amazing. Some people would say, oh, I'm good.
That's usually my response, I'm good. Tell me what's wrong with that.
What's wrong with your response?
Yeah, saying,
I mean, that's your response.
Okay. You want seat?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ask me.
It's okay, alright?
I'm good. That not sound good.
That's cool. It depends on the energy that you want to put out there, though.
Okay. So tell us what the Dwight Scott Ventures business is about.
I mean, it's just Dwight Scott Ventures, just we have a couple of businesses just to identify like 2 of them. We have Urban Warehouse Clothing, which is a clothing company that operates here in Jamaica and throughout the Caribbean. And we also have an e-commerce platform that sells online. And we also have financial companies also in the group. We have advisory company in the group and technology and renewable energy.
So it's pretty much just a big umbrella for all the businesses that you have happening.
RJR group, and you have a different segment.
Right.
Something similar to that.
What's your motivation?
My motivation?
Yeah.
I mean, I have several. It depends on which day.
What's your motivation on a Saturday?
Well, on a Saturday, most times on a Saturday, I'm in church.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, for me, that.
So we draw you away from church today?
No, I mean, you're not eating drama. Right? There's something else to do.
Okay, all
But
right.
that's really what I like to do. It's just a time to recharge. It's just a time to reconnect with yourself, time to reconnect with the world, connect with time with God. It's okay for me.
Okay, when I was reading, I saw that your drive is knowledge, but not just only knowledge, it's knowledge and making money.
Yeah.
Okay, so which one is the primary drive? Is it the knowledge or is it the money?
Well, I mean, to get the knowledge, there is knowledge to get the money.
Well, you can't use the money and get the knowledge because you have to have money for go to school, right?
Not necessarily. You need resourcefulness.
Ah.
I never had money. Most of us never had money. And high school, primary, secondary school is free in Jamaica. So
free? Ain't not free.
I mean, all right, so let me just give it to you quick. So I went to the best high school in Jamaica, Dintel Technical High School.
KC or Immaculate?
Dintel Technical. Right, so I went to that school. Originally, I'm from Spanish Town. First capital, St. Catherine, rather.
Even proud, is
And that's the best city, of course. So shout out to Spanish Town, all the different communities. So basically, I never had any money to go to school. But for me, you needed bus fare. And when you get there, Mrs. Bennett and all the other ladies in the cafeteria, they will give you lunch. And I just went to school. I did give a lot of trouble, but I did my work. And when it's time for me to do the CXCs, Mr. Clark, the next best principal, also Mrs. Joyce McKenzie, they paid for the CXCs for me.
That's fantastic.
And then I passed, went to NCU, never had any money, worked, did my first 16 credits, did 2 additional subjects, pre-college, then finished, then went to Morehouse College, and that was it. So I mean, I never had money, but the point is...
You push yourself.
I mean, but push yourself should become normal. Like, why do we need to take the fact that if you don't push yourself, who's going to push you?
That's right.
Yeah. What are the 5 steps to thinking big?
I wouldn't say there's a 5 steps. Everybody create their own steps, you know? I mean, thinking big is relative. So if you work at TVJ, which is a local station, that's a big deal in comparison to other media houses. If you work at CNN and BBC, then if you do a comparative analysis, people will say, well, they're not thinking big because in comparison to the size and the market of a TVJ, coverage versus a CNN, which is global coverage, then are you thinking big enough? So the point is, thinking big is a very individualized and it's a very unique space. So what we think about...
pretty much it's not to limit yourself.
It's not to limit yourself. If you wanted something, because, for example, if you say you live in Cherry Garden and the house is $35 million, that might be thinking big for you. At the same time, you might say, I want to live in Caribbean Estate, I'm going to live in Portmore Country Club, and the house is probably $15, $16 million. Are you thinking big? But if you live in the Portmore, St. Catherine area, for people who live in surrounding communities, that's thinking big. That's a great
so
community.
I think Dwayne was asking more on the lines of advice to
be clear about what you want.
Make myself think big.
All right, so again, when we were having a conversation, but just to comment on that. So for me, I'm not an expert at thinking big. So my friend just thought, hey, you have a mindset that I think will help people. So for me, what it is I'm clear. I want to have a healthy knowledge life. So what do I mean by that? I want to have as much information as possible. So I set a certain standard. So for me, at a minimum, I read at least 5 books every month. And I will go through probably 2,000 articles and listen to about 3,000, YouTube videos.
And podcasts as well.
And podcasts. And for me, then I'll create my own podcast, I'll create my own articles, etc. So for me, that's how I drive myself. Now, why do I do that? It's a simple math. If I walk into a room, I just have probably what I call a male ego that says, I want to be the smartest guy in the room.
That's a mindset that you've built.
That's just a mindset that I've built. At the same time, do I feel down? Do I feel depressed? Of course, you're human. It's a biological journey. You're going to go through these things. But you have to create a mindset that has nothing to do with feelings. It's completely independent of feelings.
All right, we have some actual steps here. And the first up, it was on the screen. But before we go quickly, we can just run through them. Be clear about what you want to do with your life. Be clear on the difference between peaceful and happy. Build a mindset that is independent of all emotional swings. Build a mindset that believes that the world doesn't owe you anything. And build a mindset that doesn't believe
in loyalty, but contract. I saw
like
you smiling.
The last one there.
I saw you smiling.
No, because when I was having the discussion and we were talking, I mean, oftentimes, especially in Jamaica, I hear it a lot. Boy, I'm not loyal, she's not loyal. Like, nobody needs to be loyal. If you're doing business, to a contract.
Contract. There you go. And I believe in contract.
How do people find you? Get in touch.
It depends on it. How do they find me?
Yeah, get in touch with you.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, you can go to Dwight D. Scott on Instagram. You can email me at dwight@dwightscott.com. You can find me at JamaicaLoanShop.com. You can find me at UrbanWareHouseClothing.com. You can find me on Facebook. So it's all on social media. Everywhere. So I mean, it's very simple. But it's just a matter of, if you want something, just do it. Like, don't complain, don't argue, don't cry.
Get it done.
Just get it done. It's simple. That's just really what it is.
That's the mindset. Get it done.
It's a great mindset to have. Business builder, Dwight Scott.
We're going to go for a break. Stay and stay. We'll be right back. Don't leave. We'll still come.